Okay, today's video I'm going to be going over another type of hidden camera. This is a smoke detector camera. This is a relatively inexpensive one I got off of Amazon for a customer. I'll put the link in the description below. They make some of these that look like actual BRK or Firenetics or Kitty smoke detectors. You cannot tell the difference between them. Most people just looking at the smoke detector would not know that it's not a smoke detector. It's the same size as a regular smoke detector. The little black hole that's on here is actually where the camera is, but on a regular smoke detector, that's what your test button is. So it looks just like it. You've got these little holes on the side for speakers and the smoke to go into, so it looks like a smoke detector if you did not know any better. So unless you were a professional and put in cameras for a living, you would not know this was an actual camera. These do not come with SD cards. This one in particular did not come with an SD card. It's a 1080p camera. So basically I've got a little 128 gigabyte SD card. This one will stay charged for about 2 hours. I think it says it takes 3 hours to charge. Just like a regular smoke detector, turn it 1/4 of the turn to the right and you can open it up. On the inside you'll see the power switch. You'll see the USB charging port. It comes with a little USB cable to charge it with. And your SD slot is above it. So I'm going to go ahead and pop the SD card in. I went ahead and formatted this on my computer first. That was a nice clean format. If it's a new SD card, it won't matter. If you put it in the right way, it helps. This one is actually face up, so the label's facing the top of the camera. Once I get that in there, I don't want to turn it on yet. I've already plugged it in and charged it just so it would be powered up enough to do the video on. When I turn this on, basically we're going to get some lights on there. It's going to turn red. It's going to flash blue, so we know the LED or the Wi-Fi is working. So the first thing we're going to do is we've got to get the software for it. So on your iPhone or your Android device, if you pull up your camera, the instruction book that comes with it will have a QRC code on it. All you have to do is hold this up in front of your camera and it will take a picture of it. At the top it'll pop up and tell you to open a browser. And this will take you to their website, and basically it'll allow you to do iPhone, Windows, whatever you got installed from Google Play. So I'm going to pick iPhone since that's what I have. It's going to take me to the store. I'm going to get the app. And once that's done download, I'm going to go ahead and open it. Now once the app opens, basically it's going to open it in and it's going to ask you a bunch of questions. A lot of people hit do not allow, no, do not do, blah, blah, blah. If you do that on this camera, this is a local access camera or a Wi-Fi camera. So basically that means you can access it from your phone directly to the camera, or you can put it on your Wi-Fi network and access it from other devices. So I'm going to hit OK on this one because I'm going to let it connect to my local devices because that would be my phone to the camera. I'm only going to allow it to see my location one time, doesn't matter. And then notifications, you want to allow it to send you notifications. I'm going to hit don't allow because I'm setting this up for a customer later on, but when you allow notifications, basically if something moves in front of the camera, you're going to get a notification on your phone and then you can start recording from there. Alright, once it comes up here, basically there's no devices in here. So what you have to do is you got to add the device to your Wi-Fi network or add it locally to the phone. So my next step is I'm going to turn my camera on, if I don't drop it. I'm going to turn my camera on. Once it turns on, it's going to be red for power, and then you're going to see a blue light flashing here in a second. Once it starts flashing blue, I know it's looking for a Wi-Fi connection. So in the meantime, I'm going to go ahead and hit plus on here. I'm going to add a direct connect to this device via Wi-Fi. Okay, it's going to say you go to your settings on your iPhone and you're going to look for this camera. So basically, if you haven't done a Ring camera or anything like that, when you go into your settings, under your Wi-Fi, where your normal password and stuff is, now you're going to see this camera. So this camera is like F2512 blah blah blah. I'm going to connect to that camera. It's not going to ask for a password, and I'm directly connected to this camera now. So once I'm connected to this camera, I want to go back into my app. It's going to close it out. I'm going to go back over, open it again, and it should find the camera up at the top. So I'm going to allow once, like I did before. It's going to ask me if I want to connect to my Wi-Fi network. Now, if this is yours personally and you're going to be using it in your house, then connect it to your Wi-Fi. If not, leave it off the Wi-Fi network, and that way it's not transmitting or receiving a signal. People can't just access it anytime they want to. It is password protected. You can put your own password in it, but again, for demonstration purposes, I'm just going to hit cancel for now. Now at the top here, you'll see the device is online. I'm still flashing a blue light and red light in here. If I click on this, it's going to ask me for a password modification. Again, this is for a customer. I'm not going to put a password in it now. So I'm just going to hit cancel. And it's going to take me into a live view on the camera. So basically, whichever way I aim the camera, I get a live stream from it. That's a 1080p camera. You can wall mount this camera or you can ceiling mount it. So you got to find a position in your room or in the place you want to put it at to actually set it up. And you'll be able to quarter turn it to get it on and off, and you'll just basically flip the switch on and off when you're done with it. So if you don't want to record at the time, you flip the switch off, it's not going to power on. When you want to record, you flip the switch on, it starts recording again. So while I'm in here, I'm going to go back to this previous menu. I'm going to hit the settings button. Edit device, you can change the name of the device, delete the device, put it on a new network if you had to. I'm going to go into device settings. In here is where you can configure the password, the SD card settings, how long you want to record, whether you want to record for 1 minute, 3 minutes, 5 minutes, 30 minutes. Loop recording basically means when the hard drive is full or when the SD card is full, it starts writing over top of itself and starts recording again. Here's where you could format the SD card, wipe everything off and start over again. And auto record on or off, basically anything that moves in the room, it's going to start recording it automatically. You could turn that off and it would send you a notification. You could manually record it. Most likely the whole purpose of setting this up is so you don't have to sit there and babysit it, and it just records in the background. So back on my main page here, again, device online. I'm going to cancel that again because I don't want to do a password. I'm going to set it in the corner here. And again, it's recording the data as we go. Once I get it set up, try to hold two cameras at the same time. You can turn the audio on and off down at the bottom so you can hear what's going on. If I do it now, I'm going to get feedback, so I'm not going to turn the audio on and off. If I want to take a snapshot of what was going on, I could hit the camera, and it's going to store that snapshot. If I want to record what's going on, in case someone actually found the camera and stole the camera, took the camera, I can manually record it. So I'm manually recording now what's going on. If I hit these buttons over here, this just changes the display. Doesn't do any good. Rotate the camera up, down, left, right. So once you get it on the wall, if you got it upside down, you can flip this around so it's the other way, and you can mirror it back and forth if you want it backwards. This little guy here cost $99, or I'm sorry, $49.99. Looks like it's on sale today for $44.99. Again, nice little inexpensive spy camera if you need just temporary camera that you can mount, or just want to put up certain times of the day or turn it on certain times of the day. Again, babysitter, gone for a couple hours, just want to keep an eye on what's going on. You could remote locate this in an office or something if you're trying to keep an eye on something that was going on in the office temporarily. Again, you put that on the ceiling. The only difference is going to be you're going to be able to see the lights on this one. The $250 one I sell, again, looks just like a regular smoke detector. It actually works as a smoke detector. It's just got a camera built in. It wires right into 120 volts, so you don't have to worry about recharging it. It's a much better camera, but it's also 5 times the cost. Now, one little mod I'm going to do to this one, since I don't like the lights flashing, because again, that's pretty much dead giveaway that that's not supposed to be like it is. Now, regular smoke detectors usually got a red light or a green light on it. Usually it should be a green light. It flashes red once every minute if the smoke detector is working correctly. But in this case, I'm going to take these 2 little screws out of the back of here. I've got a little computer screwdriver. This would be hard to do on camera, but let's see if I can get it done. So I'll remove this screw. Just drop it in there where I don't lose it. Remove this screw. I'm sorry. I'm not used to reaching around the camera here to do that. And once I get this board out, this board actually would lift all the way up out of here. You could take the battery up out of here if you wanted to, and actually just take this camera and stick it in virtually anything you wanted that would fit in that hole. The camera's this little pinhole guy right here. As long as you got a place to mount all this other hardware, you could put that camera anywhere you wanted or in anything you wanted to. You can do this is the antenna. You can actually buy these antennas on Amazon. You can put a bigger antenna on it, so if you do relocate this into a different device, or if you have a place to hide an antenna, you can put a bigger antenna on it, and that would basically give you more range to step away from the device or be further away. You could probably pick this up from 20, 30 feet away easily with that other little antenna on it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this light, and you could do one of two things. You could either unsolder the pin right here and just disconnect the light, I'm just going to take a little piece of tape and cover the light up, and that way you can't see it flashing. So again, just got a little small piece of electrical tape here. Just going to cover those up. This board is not hot. The LEDs don't get hot enough to melt your tape, so you don't have to worry about that. I'm not going to smother it. I'm just going to put it over top of it where you can't see them flashing. I'm going to slide my board back in. So, if I can get it in there. I'm just going to look at the other side now just to make sure, and as you can see now, no LED lights flashing. If it was pitch black, you might be able to see a little bit of glow, but for the most part, you're not going to tell that's in there now. So I'll put my screws back in to hold it in place, and that's pretty much it. So that's basically what our camera would look like mounted, whatever room you have it in. Let's say that was in an office, you could be in the other room. You're going to click on your Look Cam app, or it's going to send you a notification. You'll click on the camera. Again, it's not going to ask you to modify the password every single time. Once it connects to the camera, you'll see us sitting here. So that's me in the background. And then if the camera's upside down like it is now, basically I'm going to take this, I'm going to rotate it. Now the camera's right side up. It's flipped backwards, so I'm going to flip it. And now the camera's oriented right. So the hole either goes to the top, to the bottom of whatever room you want to do, or you can fix the orientation and flip it around the way you want it. Again, for 50 bucks, excellent little spy camera, keeps track of anything and anyone you want to. Super inconspicuous except for the red and blue light, which again, as you can see here, red and blue light's gone now. You would never know anything, you'd never know the wiser. Alright, we're talking about Wi-Fi versus non-Wi-Fi devices. Now the Wi-Fi again makes it easier for you to get the video from it, makes it easier to record, but it also makes it easier to pick up. So pick up one of these. I actually paid a couple $100 for this one. This is a better RF meter, or it's a EMF meter. If you want to catch some ghosts or something like that, you can probably use it with that. You're usually going to have an RF signal floating around the room just because there's Wi-Fi, there's cell phones, there's computers, everything. If you have a doubt about whether the device is putting off a signal though, if you hold this up against it, as you notice, I just jumped to like 12.99 just by going up against this device. 26, 29. So basically this is definitely putting out an RF signal, which means that that's giving off a radio frequency. There's no reason for a smoke detector to ever get off a radio frequency. Same with any other device in the room that you think may be an oddball type thing. If it doesn't look right, it doesn't look like it's supposed to be in the room, chances are it might not be. So if you're going on vacation and you're a little paranoid, if you pick one of these up before you go, you can actually scan the room and find out whether someone's got a hidden camera in there or not. Now, the pen camera I showed you in one of the other videos, as you notice, there's no RF coming off of this. And that's because it's on, it's recording, but there's no Wi-Fi signal to it. So again, if this smoke detector was a non-Wi-Fi version, you could hold this up against it and you would not know the difference between a regular smoke detector and the camera smoke detector. So again, Wi-Fi versus non-Wi-Fi, the Wi-Fi stuff's a lot easier to pick up in the room. So one of these little guys here might save you some so anyhow, to get back on topic again, this is just a DVR indestructible black box device, just a non-brand name generic off of Amazon. Again, $49.99. Put it up in a room. You do have to charge it every now and then. If you can find a place to plug it in, you could probably get a plug up behind the wall somehow. If you were going to leave it permanently, you could actually, if you have a room to room like an adjacent, you could go through the wall and plug this in so it stays powered all the time. But by the time you do that, you may as well spend a little bit more money and just get a little bit more expensive camera. Again, this is just more of a I call it a disposable type camera. You use this for like around the office if you think you got someone stealing from you or something like that. You put it up. If it gets destroyed, lost, torn up, you're not a whole lot of money, and you don't have to go out of your way to you know, to mount it. A couple sheetrock screws and put it up in the ceiling, put it on the wall, and you're done. It's indiscreet. Nobody would even notice. If you worked in a place for 5 years and you walked in one day and there was another smoke detector on the ceiling on the wall, you wouldn't even know. Most likely, unless you're a super observant person, you wouldn't even notice that there was another smoke detector in the room. That's just one of those things in life that we get used to seeing on our ceilings and walls, and you pay no attention to. Anyhow, thanks for watching the video. Make sure you bookmark, hit like and subscribe, and I'll be adding more and more stuff like this all the time.